All right. How do I normally do this again? Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Matrix Dialogues. It's me, your host, Austin Boozer. Another episode here today with what the fuck is going on in here?
Blame Paul.
With my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joseph Silva. How you doing, big dog?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's been a day, bro.
I bet.
It's been a day, but no complaints though. No complaints.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you.
It's good to, like, we haven't seen each other 100 times in the last 10
But
days.
I say it every single time, man. You never know.
No, I know. It's good to see you, man. These motherfuckers couldn't be any more.
Yeah, they're not really being nice.
They're not at all. Like,
read the room, bro.
For real. Alrighty. Yeah, so we've been kicking it a bunch lately.
Yeah.
In New York.
New York.
So
City, run clubs.
Yeah, we've been doing a bunch of stuff the last week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
No, not even like a week.
Yeah.
August 7th.
To.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like last 10 days or so. Yeah. We've been going around, getting after it, which has been a good time.
Oh yeah.
So, well, shit, man. I appreciate you making the time and being willing to do this. Leadville was yesterday, so that's a not for me. Anybody watching, like, I did not go to Leadville. I was supposed to, or it was in the plans. That was the idea. For better or worse, we're still here in Houston, but they'll be next year. I will be there next year, so we'll have that to look forward to. So that'll be a good time. But we're here, man. Like I said, we've been just catching up and doing our thing, which has been nice. So blessed to have the time with you, even if it was not in the way we had maybe initially imagined it would be.
Suffering through Leadville, parts of it.
Yeah, man. I saw the guy who won it last year. He won it again this year.
Yeah,
he did it like 15 minutes faster.
What?
And he set the course record last year, so he's a beast. And then
15 minutes faster.
Yeah, and 100 miles. So
yeah, no, I mean,
yeah, nothing crazy. 15 hours, something slight.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a freak. Yeah, an impressive dude, nonetheless. But we'll be there next year, suffering. So I'm excited. But man, we'll just get into it. So
let's do it.
We're gonna. What do you remember most? So for anyone who, okay, let me start before I lead with that question.
How long have we known each other?
Yeah. God, it's Joseph's show now. Fuck, my bad.
No, I mean that like it's like the common question like that. I feel like we've gotten this whole time that we've seen each other. You know, it's like everybody that we
and it's surprising to people because it is just a long fucking time.
Dude, so long.
Joseph and I have known each other since we were in third grade, so we're about 8 years old. So a long time for us because we're old fucks now. We're 30 years old, so that's a long time. What do you, I guess, to now pose the question of what do you remember most about our friendship when we were kids?
Oh man, I think we were so alike, man. Honestly, and in the ways of like just we're so free independently ourselves. And I remember recess a lot. I don't remember a lot of class time.
Yeah.
But I remember a lot of recess. Mm-hmm. And I know you brought up the other day the game where we would be on the swing and then we would like kick the shoe off.
Flick our shoe off. So anyone who never played that game in elementary school, you definitely missed out because I was the goated Tom Brady at shoe flicking.
Yeah.
But we would swing, and then you'd kind of halfway kick your shoe off a bit, and then you'd see how far you could flick that motherfucker as you win. And I was goated at that game, because you gotta time it right. Because if you get too high, it just goes straight up. But you wanted to launch that motherfucker out there.
Yeah. I remember things like that.
Yeah.
Then I remember there was this like a little fire truck thing that we would always try to jump from one end to another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I just remember just like always, being goofy, being funny, and and just unapologetically being ourselves, you know, like we didn't care about judgment. We didn't care. I think that came later on, you know, but I don't know. It was fun being kids, you know, and, just playing around, you know, and doing whatever we wanted to do out there, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I remember the most. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Man, it was not very, it was not very comfortable to be ourselves then, though, at least for me. It took me a long time to kind of be okay with me and who I was and things of that nature. That was that took me some time to, I guess, grow into, if you will.
For sure.
I mean, I think I was still doing it then for sure, but it was much more from a place of ignorance or naivety.
Yeah.
Not a place of like, no, I'm just this confident in who I am and in my own skin in that way. And so just again, different output for that. Would you say it was the same for you, or were you?
No, I mean, dude, I remember I was chubby, dude.
You were a little chubby guy back
I was
then.
a chubster, man. I had some.
You got that hair slicked the fuck back too.
Yeah.
That shit straight, man. My man just like he grabbed the comb.
Spend like 5-10 minutes in the morning just
he had that and at least a handful of Axe gel, and that man just quickly combed that shit back before it hardened.
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember that.
Had glasses on too.
Had glasses.
I had glasses too. We were some goofy looking folks.
We were some nerdy looking kids, bro. But no, I mean, dude, yeah, I was chubby. I remember, some kind of like form of like verbal bullying, at times.
Yeah.
But that's just common with elementary school and all that stuff. But as far as like how I would go about things, I was just, enjoying the best of my life. I was just there, like,
didn't know any different.
Yeah, kind of like how you said, like, just
kind of like naive.
Yeah, naive to right and wrong, just living life, man. Like I remember, elementary, we got to experience playing flag football, and
I remember that shit, bro. Yeah,
dude, that's whenever I fell in love with it, and because I never got to play like Pee Wee or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know, I was just so focused on being a kid, like and just not worried about anything else.
Yeah,
and then whenever there was some kind of verbal, dude, I had already dealt with it at home with my older sister. Like she had said every freaking, thing in the book to where I was just like, okay, like what else,
Beautiful part about siblings.
Yeah, right.
A dose of that shit early.
So yeah, that was kind of like my outlook and the way that I look back and think I loved it. I had so much fun.
Yeah. What do you, when looking back at who we were as kids to who we are now, what surprises you the most about kind of where we are today?
Bro. Weirdly enough, nothing, bro. I feel like, I mean, for me, yeah, dude, nothing. I feel like we always were capable of reaching and getting whatever we wanted, out of life. And I feel like no matter what, we were going to be successful in some way, right? And learn the lessons that we've learned, along the way. Just because if we were just living life that, the way that we were, I think that there's going to be, things in life that we're going to be able to just, figure out as we go. So I'm not surprised with your success. I'm not surprised with my success. I'm not surprised with anything that, if anything, I just appreciate it that much more, to be honest with you. And like every single conversation we've had since like New York and even here in Houston, I'm just like, dude, like, fuck, man, I'm just so thankful. And I appreciate the fact that I still have, one of my friends from childhood, because I remember names, bro. I remember friends from then, and dude, I don't know where they're at. Like, I hope they're good, I hope they're doing fine, but like to have you here in person, to be able to go work out with you, to be able to meet Bentley, like I can't replace that, dude. So it's a different appreciation for that, you know. So yeah, nothing surprises me,
Yeah.
you know, in regards to that. Not even within my own life, like
Yeah.
actually, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'd say for me, maybe there's some of it's kind of like the fearful doubt that
okay,
I talked to you about when
yeah,
we were in New York. You know, that I have that lingering fear of things not being good enough. You know, primarily for me, like that I won't be good enough or for the circumstance. You know, that's something I have to fight pretty regularly. So I'd say that's kind of my only segue or comment on that is, you know, for me, probably for a long time, it felt just like maybe it would never happen, you know? Um,
yeah,
yeah, just trying to, spending a lot of time trying to rewrite that narrative in my own mind.
yeah,
It's a bit more challenging than I would like to admit,
sure.
but here we are, we're thugging it out.
That's all we that's all we can do, you know. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's been a long time for yeah, over 20 years.
Mhm. What does family mean to you versus what it meant growing up?
Oof. You know, I think that growing up, I kind of took it for granted, right?
Also,
Took it for granted because I had my mom, I had my dad, and now when I think of family, I think of something that I will get to create
mhm,
for myself and my wife and whoever that gets, you know, and for my kids one day.
yeah,
So to give you a definition of my family, what family means to me
mhm,
is, I guess, just the feeling of unconditional love
sure,
through any condition, right?
mhm,
Through any situation, through any high, any low, any medium, like, you know,
yeah,
middle. Um, I have felt that from my family, you know, for some time now,
mhm,
especially once I left. Um, you know, and I don't think I could, you know, ever thank them enough for how they've loved me unconditionally,
yeah,
and they've never expected anything in return, you know, and they've just always been there. And if I'm happy, then they're happy, you know. And I feel like I took that for granted when I was younger. Um, in ways, you know, just because, you know, so to most people, especially nowadays, it's like, oh, you had your mom and your dad, like it was perfect for you, you know. And some people at a very young age, they had to deal with divorce or, you know, a broken home, and I
mhm,
didn't have to deal with that until. I mean, I don't feel like I had to deal with it
yeah,
because I left.
mhm,
You know, I left to the Marine Corps, and um, then they ended up getting divorced. You know, and
sure,
so yeah, I just feel like I took for granted, but I mean, it gave me a sense of understanding what I want to create for myself and, you know, for my family one day. You
yeah,
know, and I think it's helped my family now love each other the way we do.
yeah. When you think about that family that you want to create, what is that? When did you really kind of start to paint that picture of what kind of partner, father, son you kind of wanted to be?
Fuck, man. Can't pinpoint something directly, but I mean, I know that it's just been an ongoing process, you know,
Yeah. Well, what is it? I guess what does that ideally look like for you? If you had to kind of describe it to us.
like a family.
Well, like for you, like what is that? You know, you've already been married before,
Yeah.
and that didn't work out. So you've had the ability to learn from that, hopefully, and kind of segue that into maybe becoming more aligned with who you want to be as a husband and a
So,
partner.
yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start with number one, right? Like the wifey, right? That looks like my best friend.
Mm,
That looks like, you know, someone who's at, you know, at my corner through good and bad, through everything. Um, she prioritizes herself. She loves herself. She takes care of herself, and in turn, she knows that her man, her husband, does the same and is willing and able to give the best version of himself to her as she is to him. And that is our,
Got a foundation.
our foundation. From there, through the independent ability of ourselves, we're able to be the best version for each other, and then our kids, like whatever I'm blessed with. I don't have a number. I mean, I've always believed that it's on her, whatever she wants to have. If she wants to stop at 2, if she wants to stop at 1, like whatever your body can take, like you tell me, and we'll stop there. We'll keep going from there, wherever you want.
Well, she says 5.
She says 5, then let's have 5.
Oh,
and I'm like, Mama, can you handle that?
That's crazy. That's a lot.
But if you want to, let's do it. And if she says 1, then we're having 1.
Yeah.
I think, in a realistic world, everybody wants to have, the perfect one boy, 1 girl, but man, like, I'm happy with what I get, and what I have. And I think in regards to raising my kids with my wife, they're going to know mama comes first. They're going to know mama's the priority, and not through words, but through actions. And in doing so, they're going to see how it's okay for them to be independent. It's okay for them to be themselves. It's okay for them to develop their own, perception and, outlook of life. Obviously guided through our foundation, right? That my wife and I will establish. But funny enough, like, I think all of these things that I'm stating right now did not come from my past marriage.
More than anything, I think you can learn things that things you don't want to do. Right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't get the ideal environment or the ideal, even like if you have toxic leadership, you're like, I don't want to be like that. It doesn't tell you what a good leader looks like, but it helps knock things off the list not to do.
Yeah.
So then by default, if they can take off a list that has 10 things and you saw 4 things not to do, now you only have 6 things to decide from versus the 10.
Right.
And so I think, again, just like reframing things to, when we're like, well, I didn't really take anything away from that. It's like, yeah, you did. Like, you learned a whole lot of things you didn't want, or that you didn't want to do, or that you knew weren't the right way to go about things.
Yeah.
And that can be just as insightful, again, because now there's just less options, less fuck ups you have to make to get to the right ones. Instead of just being like, oh, well, it was whatever. I didn't really take anything away from that person. Well, no matter what kind of relationship that was, just a friend or a marriage, or whatever it is. Like, there's always something.
Oh yeah, always. And that's in line with the growth mindset that I like to live by, and always hold near and dear to my heart. But I mean, I know that the dynamic was just different with my previous marriage. With she had a daughter. Learning how to navigate that. Opening yourself up to that. I was learning as I went.
Yeah.
A lot of it, a lot of it was that. And so, but when I left that situation and I left that marriage, there was no thought process of when I get married again, I want this, or when I have kids, I want to be this way. It was more or less of like just becoming and allowing myself to become the best version of myself.
Sure.
Right. Because that was my fault in that situation. You know what I mean? So like, when I had time to reflect, when I had time to look back at where I went wrong and take ownership for my own, take responsibility for my own actions, it came down to that. It came down to, I let myself go. Right? I forgot about Joseph. And I was not my best version, ultimately affecting her.
Sure.
And there was a lot of reasons for that. It was comfort, work, dual military, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know, there was also a lot of growth
Sure,
and
of course.
maturity that had to happen, and that did happen because of that situation.
Yeah. In your opinion, what does it take to maintain a meaningful relationship now?
What does it take to maintain a meaningful relationship now? I think humility.
Mm.
I think willingness. With willingness comes the effort,
Sure.
right?
Mhm.
I think kindness, right? Because with kindness comes sympathy, comes understanding.
Yeah.
Um,
I think everything you're describing there has to be applied, and like we spoke about in New York was like
yeah,
reciprocal effort.
yeah.
It's not just one person showing up. Is that
Oh yeah,
there's this team, there's this unity, there's this, hey, the effort I show up with, I know that you will. Maybe not all the time, right? But the underlying theme is that we agree to show up the best way we can in reciprocal ways for one
yeah.
another.
And I thought about that when we talked about that in New York, and you know I don't know if I either misunderstood you or if I did misunderstand you, let me know. But sometimes it's okay if it's not reciprocated, right? Because that kind of falls in line with my, what I said about my family, like unconditional love.
Mm,
Sometimes the unconditional part is understanding that what you're giving is not going to be given back.
sure.
You know what I mean? So to keep a relationship, sometimes it's okay if or a friendship even, it's okay if I don't get exactly what I give you,
No, 100%.
right? And so I think within any interpersonal relationship, you have to understand how they show you that they care about you,
Sure.
right? As much as you understand how you show them that you care about them, because I mean, it's a love language type, you know, dynamic that we have to understand between or within that interpersonal relationship in order to keep that relationship going.
Mm.
Um,
I think they're the just bottom line, whatever it looks like, effort's the lowest common denominator that you're evaluating. Right?
mhm,
As long as there is effort, which is that reciprocal.
mhm,
Again, it doesn't need to be the same, right? Because
mhm,
maybe what you're giving you don't want back,
mhm,
right? But they're
100%.
again inversely, they're going to whatever they know, like you were saying there, they know that you need or want. Like they are putting effort into that.
Mhm,
So the currency you're trading in is effort for reciprocity. That means, hey, I'm going to make an effort, you will make that same effort,
mm,
right? And again, yeah, on a day to day basis, hey, that what that effort looks like. Like the other day when we went and ran, I was clapped. I'd been running in the heat half the day. Like I was just fighting to survive.
Yeah,
So I
bro.
was just a little bit more
Yeah, your
tired.
energy was down there
Yeah, But that doesn't mean that I still was like, hey, I'll pick you up, I'll do whatever.
for sure.
So there was still that yeah, there was still clear visibility of effort,
Oh yeah.
right? And so that's what I'm saying is yeah, every day's not going to be like, oh my God, it's so great to see you. But that doesn't mean there's not effort present, right? That's what I mean by reciprocity and reciprocal efforts is that there is a visible and understood effort, regardless of the scenario or what's going on or whatever the case may be, that I'm going to lead with that intention to show the effort.
Love that.
So, um,
Love that, man.
yeah, kind of like I told you, I don't think that a lot of people use time as a measure of effort, and that's they'll substitute effort for time in that evaluation, and that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, uh, it's great if you get both, right? If you get to the point where we are, where there's time and effort involved, but like I told you, most of the people in my life who I trust and I'm very close to are people I've met in the last, 2, 3, 5 years, 3 to 5 year window of knowing people. And not that really anything past 3 would be a long time. Really, it's sub 3 years are probably the
Right.
closest people in my life because they're the people who've one stuck around or shown that reciprocity and shown that willingness, showing that effort as well to stay prevalent or part of my life. So,
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah,
so
you saying that, man. You saying that actually made me think back to how how much I do appreciate this friendship that much more, man. Because, even in my life, man, like it's you and like two other people that I've known to that length of time.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else is just another person that once was in my life.
Yeah.
But the ones that are now the most important people in my life, aside from you guys, are those that I just met, within the past couple of years.
And I mean, I think that's what it's supposed to be to an extent too, right? Like, because I mean, as we're going through life and we're changing and our environments change, like, well, not everyone can stick around.
Right.
And again, that doesn't have to be in a negative connotation. Doesn't mean they're bad or that things ended sourly. It just say like,
it is.
I moved on. Yeah, maybe we both have moved on to a new segment of our life, and maybe that life has taken us in a different direction. Doesn't mean it's any like, oh, fuck him. It's just like, hey, like all love, whatever. But like, you're going this way, I'm going that way. Hey, I see you when I see you.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be something bad. And we haven't. Like there's been times where we've talked more and times where we've talked less. Over the course of being friends. So again, it's like, I think life has a way of guiding us back to one another when we need something, when there's a reason. Maybe we don't initially see it that way, but I believe life, God, whatever tickles your button, has a way of bringing us back to that.
I like that. Tickle your button. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, yuck your yum. That's another one. Shout out to Zach for that one. That's my boy. But so we're not gonna get too heavy into what you do in the Marines, but
for sure,
you've committed to a life of misery in the Marine Corps, and you're a gunnery sergeant now.
Yeah,
been in a long fucking time. It's an E7 for anyone who's not familiar. But some of the things I do want to spend some time on there are the Marines changed the way that you think about responsibility, trust, or leadership. You were a young kid. You were 18 when you joined, 19. What has changed in your perspective since then on those?
Of responsibility,
trust, and leadership.
Oof. All right. I'm gonna start with leadership.
Okay.
All right. So growing up, I definitely thought that like, oh, you like are born with it. Like, you just like, you just have that it factor.
Yeah.
Because there was those kids that had that it factor growing up, and over the course of time, I learned that leadership comes from, humility, from following, right? And that's why they say in order to lead, you need to know how to follow.
Sure.
Right. But what makes a good leader is making more leaders, right? In my opinion, because you're able to equip them with the tangibles that that they need and they can utilize moving forward, right? Responsibility is a part of that. What was the other one? Responsibility.
Where'd it go? Oh yeah, responsibility, trust.
Trust is obviously one of those things. I never really put trust into that category of like tying it into leadership. When I was growing up, it was just kind of like, hey, follow the leader.
It's definitely not like that though.
It's definitely not.
Yeah.
And it's because I had never been in those positions in those scenarios. So it's changed it a lot, in the sense of understanding that, especially with handling a lot of different type of people, whether it's ethnicity, background, etc. Like, there's so much intricate details that goes into it. But it's, I think, knowing how to talk to people, right? And the foundation of a good leader, I think, is understanding that your goal is to convince, right, a group of people towards one objective. And how can you do that? Right? How well can you do that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I never really thought of it. Honestly, I just came out whenever I was like thinking about leaving to the Marine Corps. Initially, it was like the Army, and that was because, like I told you, a friend of ours, Josh Longoria, I had seen that he had it enlisted and everything. And I was like, man, that actually, seems like my calling, we'll see how that goes. And, yeah, I guess it like tickled my button,
Yeah.
And so I went and tried to talk to the recruiter, and he never showed up. And then I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go talk to the Marines. But at that point,
it's crazy how one little variable like that kind of has shifted the whole last 12 years of your life, essentially.
Dude, and every Marine has like that story of theirs, like, something like that, or like every soldier, army guy, has probably like their side of their story whenever they went to the Marine Corps office and then whatever, But
I did go to a Marine Corps office.
Oh, let's hear yours then.
Mine's just not very anticlimactic. I had an 87 ASVAB score, and they told me I couldn't pick my job.
Oh, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, because the Marines place your job.
Well,
right? You can make requests.
You have options.
Right? Yeah, but they still place you like where the need is. And since I scored so high, I wanted to be in the infantry. They're like, no.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
You're like in my That's the other part of that, not your
GT.
My GT was like 118.
Yeah,
so
bro.
They're like, no, bro, you're not going in the infantry. I was like, I want to be in the infantry. And they're like, well, that's stupid. You're too smart. And I was like, that's fine. I'll go to the army then.
Okay.
And so that was it for me. Like I wanted to be able to do the job that I chose to do. You know?
They didn't even offer you like recon or anything like that?
Yeah, I think they were like, they were trying to get me to go in some engineering field or something.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is something that you could do after. It would be a better thing. Sure. Like, like it's harder to get into. You need a certain GT and ASVAB score. And I was like, I just want to kick the door in and
do what I want.
Yeah. And so like I respected the fact that like, I mean, they weren't trying to like, do me dirty or wrong or anything. I mean, I don't think the army was either, but it was like I had the like whatever you want. Like you can pretty much choose whatever job you wanted, and I wanted to pick what I did. I didn't want to be told, "Hey, you kind of got to do this thing." Like I didn't want to just sit behind a desk. I wanted to be able to feel like I did something that mattered. And for me,
that's what took you back to the army.
Yeah, that's why I went to the army office.
That's what's up.
So yeah, because I was pretty hard up on joining the Marines, and then once they were like, well, your scores are really great, so actually these are the jobs we want you to pick from, and I was like, I don't want to do those. So
it's crazy.
Strolled over to the army office and they were like, God, you're a fucking nerd. What do you want to do? And they're like, you sure you want to do it? Like, you sure? You sure the infantry? Even because my recruiter was a Cav Scout. So I was like, infantry's worst enemy. And he's like, are you sure? Like, you're a little smart, big dog. Like, that's what you want to do? I was like, no, that's what I want to do. All right.
That cliche is, or like that stereotype has always been so funny to me, how like, the dumb grunt.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's true though. I got some dudes who definitely barely made that 27. Definitely barely
made it. They're there, but like, we need some smart ones too.
No, we do, and
especially with the intricate, job requirements. And,
sure. Yeah.
And what you need to do that. But no, yeah, I mean, it wasn't always Marine Corps, but
what was
it led to that.
What's the hardest lesson the Corps taught you?
Oh man.
How did it affect your personal life?
I think I'm learning that the hardest lesson is really the like almost like forced. I think I told you this, like the forced avoidant, relationship with like just peoples and
okay, yes.
Yeah, man, like it's like you know every 3 to 4 years you're about to bounce. You're gonna get orders somewhere else, and you have to say goodbye to your friends and you've already been saying goodbye to your families and everything. Mm. So it's like
it is tough. Yeah, that was
that. I know. That's been the ongoing life lesson that I've been trying to dissect a little bit more internally. December this year will be 12 years. And a lot of friends that don't know where they're at. Some that I can say hi to and have seen and everything, but and a lot of friends that I can't see ever again, but yeah, that for sure has been the biggest lesson up to this point in my career, for sure.
I think the highlight there, from my opinion, is that it's a more macro dosed version of the reality that we all know, but the like change is inevitable.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of us get to a lot of us live in spots in our life where we have optional change, right? And when you're in the military, even to a certain extent, no matter what rank you get, like there is forced change.
Yeah.
That will be pressed upon you, whether that's changing duty stations or stepping into a different role or position that you kind of don't want, voluntold. And so I think it keeps you. So maybe your viewing is like this, like, it's kind of a negative thing. I think you have a certain nimbleness to you that a lot of individuals in life really struggle to accept, right? Like how many other people could really like move their life? And maybe I'm not saying it's all great, but like could move their life around every few years, have that flexibility and that dynamic to be able to do so and still be okay on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks you miss people and whatnot, but like I think again it's kind of like the results in the gym, right? They're delayed. Right. So this perspective of like, oh wow, like you're in 8 years from now when you're done, and you're only 40 and you're like, okay, now I can pick somewhere to stay for however long I want. There'll be a deeper appreciation for it because all you've done for the last 20 years of your life was move around.
Yeah.
And so now that you can pick somewhere to stay for however long you want, it's like, actually, like you may find that after 3 or 4 years, you're like, fuck, I'm ready to go somewhere else again. Like, cause this is what I know. Like, this is not that I don't love these people or care about them, but like, fuck, I want to see something else. I want to see a different place. I want to meet different people.
Yeah. I can see that definitely. Like, in regards to location for sure. I think the lesson that I've been able to learn has been more so oriented towards like the relationship, the emotional relationship that you develop with your friends, right? And the people there, right? Community, sense of community, right? I know that location is never going to be, I guess, somewhere I choose specifically, or sometimes I will get to choose it, right? But to have to say goodbye to a community that you grow into, you grow with, that's tough.
That's tough.
That's tough, regardless of age, regardless of the situation.
But I think it's more tough because you're not choosing it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but
and that's the avoidant like side of it. Like
I'm saying
detachment.
Flip it and make it inverse of like you're not in the Marines. This create this view perspective of you're with a girl and you get a better job offer a few states away. It really could transform your family and offer you some better opportunities. And like, then it's still just as hard to say goodbye, but you're the one who chose it rather than being told, hey, you have to go. Yeah. Right? That's the only variable that's different. Everything else is still the same. You still got to say goodbye to the people that you have the same type of community with. Like everything is the same except for it's your choice versus it's kind of this inevitable guarantee that kind of looms when you're in the military. Like it's going to happen. Just a whim. When am I going to come on orders? No.
Yeah.
Like I think so. Again, like the hardness doesn't change. There's just one different decision maker. It's you versus the Corps saying, "Hey, we need you here."
No, yeah. And no, I don't think the hardness will ever change, right?
No, definitely.
It's in that way. Like I said, I feel like I have found myself dissecting it more because I want to understand those emotions that do come every single time that happens. Because up to this point, I haven't. Right? It's been just like, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
Bye.
Like I told you gotta feel that stuff, man.
And it's just like, right, and that's why I dissect it. That's why I want to dissect it even more because it's like, wow, I'm noticing that, that's affected also the way I love, the way I care for those that I love, show them that. It's like, all right, I'll see you later. Talk to you another time or whatever, and it's like almost nonchalant and they don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like my brother doesn't deserve that. My siblings don't deserve that. Mother doesn't deserve that, but that's why I've been dissecting it because I want to make sure that I understand, okay, these are the feelings I'm feeling, right? How do I navigate through them? Understand that and then move forward onto the next thing. Yeah. Just to help myself be the best brother that I can be, or son, Yeah. So
I'm gonna ask you the same thing you asked me the other day.
So
what does success look like to you? And how has that definition changed with time?
I mean, dude, the answer you gave me was exactly what I think, because success is immeasurable only to the person. What I think is subjective. Exactly. You measure your success. What do you want? What do you want that's going to make you happy in your life? Right? And do it. And if you accomplish it, then do you feel successful?
Yeah.
If it's a yes, then good. Keep doing it. And find more challenges, that help you get that feeling. Not that you're chasing it, but to know that, because I mean, you deserve that, at the very least. And then why would you allow yourself to formulate, what success is off of societal norms or societal, pressures, like, no. Yeah. It's your life. It's your journey.
Yeah.
And no one is living it but you. So
painfully, yes.
And so yeah, success is what I want it to be.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And right now, right, like for this trip, the only expectation I had was to prioritize those that I love the most. And at this moment, I've been successful at that. 12 years in the Marine Corps. I've surpassed whatever I needed and wanted to do. And I never thought about making it to Gunnery Sergeant. I never thought about that. I never thought about making it to Staff Sergeant. I never even thought about making it to Sergeant, bro. After my 4 years, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do another one. Right? And then Marine Corps was like, hey, you're gonna go be a drone instructor. And I was like, bet. Next challenge.
Yeah.
So what's next? And through those, like, just kind of like obstacles or whatever, just things and circumstances that came up in my life. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
It's a good approach to take.
Yeah. Because I mean, what was I gonna do? Just sit there, I mean, and there's some dudes that do that.
No, yeah, definitely.
There's some dudes that are like, oh, I'm not gonna be a drone instructor. I'm not gonna be a recruiter. I'm gonna get out. Like, all right.
Yeah. I mean,
you limit yourself.
If they're, I mean, but it
also might benefit their life.
Yeah.
Their situation.
Have you ever felt like you were chasing someone else's version of success other than your own?
Oh, that's a good question. Especially because, through different type of leaders that you have, you might feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you've worked with someone long enough, I feel like that makes sense. I ever felt like chasing someone else's success other than my own.
I guess maybe the simpler way to make sure we're aligned in that question is, do you ever feel like you were doing something for others, not yourself? Like you were doing things that someone else wanted you to do, not what you wanted to do. I think those things can happen very you can sneak in very easily,
right.
In
my career or in life?
In general. Just in general. You ever found yourself in that position?
You know what, man? I'll be honest with you. Like I did at some point, and I was young, and might be like a touchy subject.
Yeah, that's good, man. I love touchy.
Just because,
especially if it's anal.
Whatever tickles your button, Austin.
Yeah, tickle my button.
Yeah. So growing up, I was raised in a religion. I don't need to go into depth in that. I just know that like at a certain time in my life, I started going this way from that path.
Sure.
And out of, not wanting to disappoint my mother, my family, I stayed the course that path.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually to realize that I get to make my own life and I get to make my own thoughts, perception of what I want life to be for me. So I chose to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I had been successful there, within the church, in regards to my participation, in regards to, I guess, at a young age, being put in a leadership position, etc. But I knew it wasn't for me, right? So I do look back at that situation. I felt like I was doing something for the wrong reasons that weren't for me, right? And I remember doing something about it. I think that's what allowed me to carry that through, even in my Marine Corps career. I've never felt that. Never. Because I've
always been for you.
Always been for me.
Good, man.
And I've never had to explain myself why I'm not doing something or why I don't want to do something.
Yeah. I think that's the privilege of pursuing something that no one else in your immediate family or friend group is doing. As it really gives you that exclusivity to pursue it in whatever vein you want.
Yeah.
Because then there's less people to give their opinion on because they don't have any knowledge, they don't have any, experience in the thing. So any kind of opinion they would throw at you, you're just like, you've never even done this. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I've really tried to steer my own life too now, towards putting myself in positions that I know no one else has been in. Taking risks and doing things that I know no one else is doing. Yeah. That way I can really just even forego the risk of their opinions even being present.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person I know I'll sit on it too much. It'll eat at me. And I'll face that guilt.
That's understandable. So. I think also, fortunately, I've always controlled what is out there, what I put out there for myself, whether it's through social media or whatever, right? So I feel like I've been able to control the narrative.
I mean, yeah, same. But, there's always still people close to you who unsolicitedly will throw their opinion at you.
And even to those people, right, to my family, right?
The same. I've distanced myself holistically from a good majority of my family because of those exact things.
Yeah.
Just you don't know me. You're not involved in my life. Like, why would I sit here and weigh your opinion as something valuable?
Right.
You weren't going through any of this stuff with me. Like, I see you twice a year. Who are you to think you can just tell me what you think I should be doing with my life?
Right.
I don't know you, man. And more importantly, you don't know me.
I hear your opinion.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, you can shove it up your fucking ass too.
And you can keep it over there.
Yeah. I'm an asshole about that.
Or it's like, oh, thank you for the opinion. And then just walk away without even receiving it.
I saw this meme last night I meant to send you. It was about running. And it was like, the top 5 things I'm tired of hearing with running. And it was like, you run for fun? It's like, that was like, you, there were some funny ones like, you pay to run? It's like, just like you don't pay to do shit I think is
common
stupid.
Things you hear.
Yeah. Like, I'd only run if someone was chasing me. Great for you, bitch. Like, I didn't fucking ask. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
It could never be me. I've heard those things. I'm just like, all right, it's not you. These guys are crazy.
Oh, bro. But yeah, no, again, I think that's good too. And I think it shows that you have like a sense of self.
Oh, they must do it a lot. Yeah.
That you have this ability to really tap into you, right?
Yeah.
That you can say like, hey, I'm going to do something different than people in my social circle or, and that was...
I guess you tell people what you want them to hear whenever you walk away instead of to their face, right? I think that was that.
Hey, man. But
anyways,
you want to straighten your mic? Is here a little crooked now? Straighten it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's moments I could not hear what you were saying. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. I talk
but
quiet.
It's not your fault. It's these fuckers' fault.
They
man.
were so loud.
And I was about to stand the fuck up and just be like, "Yo, what the hell?" But it's okay. It's not on us.
So we'll move to the next one.
Fucking jack-offs.
Have you ever struggled? Have you ever struggled with admitting that you were struggling emotionally, mentally?
Hell yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Give me time. Give us an example here.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, definitely through my divorce.
Sure.
I mean, I did going into the Marine Corps. I was I was all like, oh, I'm fucking ready to go, this and this and that. But dude, I was scared shitless.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? Especially once I arrived and I'm bald, like, dude,
Yeah.
you know, like
You're around a whole bunch of people you don't know,
just
going
like
through some
your identity's gone.
struggle, and yeah, I mean it's a bit terrifying.
Yeah. But
I guess maybe the better question is, so okay,
sure.
if you've admitted you've experienced it, but how would you encourage maybe other men especially to be okay expressing that struggle, like and admitting that they're struggling, they're having a hard time?
I mean, for what it's worth, it's always easier than said than done, right?
No, sure.
But I've learned that it's not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, just it's not that deep. Like, nobody's gonna judge you. No one's going to. And if you do feel that way, like somebody is doing that, or that will happen if you open up and express yourself to whoever, right? Then you have the wrong people around you, right? Obviously. But what I mean by it's not that deep, it's like it's okay to let it out. It's okay to just say it. You're a human being, you know? Like, you hurt in your way just as much as I've hurt my own way. But what good does it do you if you just keep it all bottled up? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just easier. That's why anyone does it.
It is. But why do the easy thing?
I mean, I agree.
You know, like,
I mean, again, when you're in that space and you're truly suffering,
yeah, and I mean, I've had buddies who, make a life altering decision in those positions, and they end up hurting more. They end up hurting those people around them that they cared about or they care about more than they actually do helping them.
Yeah.
And if anything, I don't want to sound ignorant either, but at the same time, why I say that it's not that deep is because oftentimes, and I've been there, bro. I've been there. I've had those thoughts. Right. I've had those thoughts driving down the 5 out there in San Diego, going up to Camp Pendleton. And I'm like, what if I did just kind of, something crazy?
Yeah.
But it's like, for what? At what cost?
Yeah.
And then like to live a life that of quitting, like if just giving up, because it was easier. Because I didn't simply try to, if I don't feel comfortable with talking to somebody, or if I don't feel comfortable with people that I have around me enough to say something and seeking it, And nowadays, actually, I think we have a lot of great resources out there where you don't even have to see the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
And you can just say what you need to say. And I say this obviously because I'm still in and I see a lot of it. But as a leader, that's why I've always talked about those, because this is an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, but for a valid reason. I mean, I think.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like also as a leader, I've been able to employ my, small young leaders in seeing those little things that, might be triggers or might be, little alarms from or inconsistencies in people's consistent, way of life, to pick up on them and to ask, but in regards to the person, I know that whenever I had an issue and I was thinking those thoughts again, I know that I had to let my ego go, let my pride go. And I had to be like, you're a fucking human being, right? You're going to be hurting more people than helping. Go say something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it started by me looking at myself in the freaking mirror, literally, and just saying, you are not okay. And as tough as you want to fucking act, you're not.
Yeah.
Because I was a prideful ass bitch, and I can be prideful. I'm not like shy to, to admit that. But in knowing so, it allowed me to also just let it go. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's
It
tough
is.
in that way. And I think that, as I've been in the position myself where, I felt the only way out was to just exit, and it's a really shitty place to be.
Yeah, man.
It's not something that was enjoyable for me to be in that space. And, yeah, you do feel like that you would be doing the world, the people around you, a service by not having to worry about you or, care so much. And yeah, I offer to people in that space that, like you mean something to someone,
I laugh because I was actually just at Smoothie King, and at the very bottom of the drive-through window, there's a little random sticker that says, "You are loved."
Yeah.
And I find it ironic that now we're talking about this, but
it's true, man.
it is, bro.
Somebody loves you, and even if you don't feel
Dude.
like it, like someone does, somebody would miss you.
Nothing's worth your life, man. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Not like that.
And it sucks to be in a spot where you feel like that's the only way out.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I still have you here, brother.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Seriously.
It took me a while, but happy to be here. So.
Oh, it's amazing of you. Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What role has vulnerability played in your own growth?
What role has vulnerability played in my own? I think I've never been really scared of it. Maybe at times, but I don't know. I feel like I've had this bucket mentality. When I think of vulnerability, I think of the situations that I've like been in, like loving, caring for somebody. I think about doing uncomfortable things, in my professional career. Because what if I fail? What if I lose? What if I make an ass out of myself? And then the last name Silva is, disrespected, whatever, right? So I think it has had a lot to do with every part of my life. But I know that I've always been comfortable enough to allow myself to be vulnerable, and whatever happens, happens. Because at the end of it, and I think I kind of love that about vulnerability, is the fact that like I can't ever regret it. Because in doing so, like you're only gonna learn something. Because you're doing something that you weren't comfortable with. Right. And like you're allowing yourself, because it's a choice you have to make to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And if you're gonna make a choice, then why not just do it at full go?
Yeah.
Why half-ass it, So yeah, that's kind of been my thought process, just do it.
Yeah.
Jump the cliff.
Yeah.
Jump it,
I agree. I mean, I share that perspective. It took me a long time to get there, though.
Yeah.
It was not something that just came very, very naturally for me. Something I've had to work like in my opinion, maybe unfairly hard at to be kind of good at. I think it's gotten easier as I've gotten a little older, and I've kind of become more comfortable with me and who I am, and not so focused on the opinions of others in that way. I think that upheld some vulnerability for me for a long time, especially coming from an environment where I felt like it was never really fully accepted before. I was like, what do you mean? Like, just be open with that, like, motherfuckers don't like me already. What do you mean? Just be open and vulnerable. Like, I don't know. That sounds kind of fucking awful. And, but the irony of that is when you aren't yourself, you're blockading yourself from the kind of people that you would be around. that you should be around. So it's kind of the irony solely is that you're the thing that's preventing you from actually surrounding yourself with the type of people you should be around. So it's kind of one of those, like, you're the thing that's hurting you. Is the thing really that bad, or is it you? And that's hard for a lot of people to accept, that it's them.
I love that. I love that. I love how you worded that, dude. Because it's you versus you.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's either mentally, emotionally, you limit yourself.
Yeah.
Every single time. Like wherever you go, whatever you do, like it's always your mind of like, oh, am I really capable of doing this? Instead of actually allowing yourself to be like, fuck it, let's do it. You know? Crazy how both things can literally have a different outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you worded that perfectly, man.
Yeah, it's something I spent an unhealthy amount of time.
I'm sure, but you've done the time and you've spent the time on it, which is valuable, bro.
I wouldn't call it a brag, but
I mean, there's not a lot of things you need to brag about, dude. You've done the work.
But I mean, I'm envious of people sometimes who were able to get there so much easier.
Yeah, but maybe their challenges were somewhere else.
No, I know that.
You know,
right? Still, it's like, fuck.
Yeah,
you know, and then what it costs you to get there sometimes too. Feels like, fuck. What if I get caught up in the what would it have been if I had just kind of been willing to be there sooner? You know, and you can't allocate too much to that, but it pops in every once in a while, and you gotta kind of try and put it at bay so it doesn't grow into something unhealthy.
Dude. You're such a genuine dude, bro. I think that's it sucks when you're that genuine, you know, like when you're that real. Because it is easy, like, you know, for people to take advantage of you or whatever, you know, and, you know, you get hurt, you know, and then, you know, you live like that throughout your whole life and that's all you know, and I can relate to that, you know, for sure. But I know that there's no flaw in that. There's literally no flaw in that, you know, which is the positive part of it, you know, that I think you're able to tell yourself, you know, it's like, and that's what I've always loved about you, bro. Like, just to me, you're the same fucking dude I was playing with in the playground, bro. Even if you're covered in tats, you know what I mean? Like, you're the same guy because, like, obviously you've grown, and like seeing you under the limelight of like as a father with Bentley the other day, bro. I was just like, what the fuck? We're here, bro. Like this is awesome. You know, this kid, he's like older than us when we met. You know, but yeah, man, like you've always been genuine. You've always been so fucking real and like just so well grounded. At least from what I can, you know, what I've seen and when my interactions with you, that, yeah, man, it's understandable why you would have to overcome those things. It is.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Just trying to be okay being me. Still a daily.
Doing a great job at it, bro.
Thanks, man. Trying my ass off.
You're doing your thing. So,
which way do I want to take this? How do you define strength? And where do you think we get it wrong, as men?
Oof. How do I define strength? I mean, I think to be strong, you know, you need to be humble. You need to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think there's more strength in understanding and feeling your weaknesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Than just being strong, and whether it's literal or like emotionally and mental, right? But I think where we get it wrong is it's like, well, let me pick up the self-help book and okay, I'll read about it. Okay, that's good. Go ahead, read it. Have you lived it? Are you allowing yourself to live it?
Yeah.
Because to live it and feel it, completely different than reading it.
Yeah, kind of like I told you the other day, we just anything we want to learn, we have to learn by doing it.
And yeah, man. I mean, because I've read books,
Yeah.
great books that are very well explained in regards to how to handle a situation and everything, but you truly don't know until you're in that situation
Mhm.
yourself. And until you're going through it emotionally, mentally,
Learn by doing.
literally,
The
bro,
only way you can learn. You want to learn how to run, go run.
that's strength.
You want
But
to,
the willingness to do it,
yeah.
you
The,
know,
the every self-help book has the same concepts and ideas.
for sure.
And if you aren't willing to, like you said, like live it, to go do it, learn by actually living it. People are like, "Oh, I'm taking a break from relationships to learn how to be in a relationship." It's like that's not how it works. Like you're gonna learn how to be a better partner by being a better partner.
And
You
understanding
know?
yourself, yeah.
Yeah, like, but it's not gonna come from like, "Oh, I read 4 great books." Great. I mean, maybe they give you some perspective, but
True.
like when your partner triggers you, how are you going to respond? You're only going to get better at that by doing it, by being triggered, by catching yourself, by having to not respond in that way.
Yeah, and like it's like utilizing those books for knowledge, right?
Sure.
For that, because it's knowledge that you can use
Mhm.
and utilize towards, implementation of the actual act of it.
Sure.
You know, I think, but yeah, that's where true strength comes from.
I like that. Do you think society has made it harder for men to know who they are or express what they feel?
Society. I mean, this may be weird, but no, I think society has its own opinion and people put it out there, whatever they want to,
Mm-hmm.
but how you allow whatever you're watching, whatever you're hearing to affect you, and the outcome of that is on you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times I'll be scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and I hear all this other, all this crap about men, about women, etc. And it's just like, okay, you're dumb. Whatever. You know? Swipe up, bro.
Yeah.
But some people don't do that.
Yeah.
But again, where does that come from? Is it because I've been in the Marine Corps 12 years? No. Is it because I just turned 30 years old? No. Because I know myself. I know myself well enough to understand what I value, what my morals are, and what I believe in. And if those things that I'm hearing don't align with my values and morals, then what relevance does it have in my life? Nothing. So in that aspect or in that perception, I guess, that is why I don't think it's society. Because it's on you. You allow it to affect you,
Yeah.
not what's around you.
Okay. That's interesting. I have a slightly varied opinion to that. I think there's I don't know I don't know if I'd say it's harder. I think we've made it a little easier to and more acceptable to express how we feel.
For sure.
I think between this thing like I do here on the show and then other great shows have done is create a space for an environment where it's okay for men and obviously exclusively here we're talking about men to kind of just be more open about themselves, how they feel, what's going on inside their minds, their hearts, what they're battling. 10, 15, 20 years ago, that was way less prevalent, way less common. I do think, like anything, there's an inflation present. What I mean by that is, if you look at somebody from the '60s playing basketball, right, they weren't that good. Right? Well, now in 2025, like people are all pretty fucking great. Like there's an argument that can be made that Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't be very good in today's game, right? He's just playing against a bunch of bums and he was outsizing them all. Like that was it.
Right.
But that's how it is in anything, right? It's like, look at people in baseball 100 years ago, people were throwing the ball 75 to 85 miles an hour, right? Like you're not even going to be throwing batting practice,
No.
today. So there is an inflation of skill and requirement and expectation that accompanies anything the longer it's around, whether that's sport or just society as a whole. So I do think there is some pressures society places on us as men of like what's expected of us has changed, has heightened as the requirement has grown from basically maybe what our dad or our grandfather was expected to do, be capable of, be able to provide. And that's kind of going to be a continuous growth thing. I think that's why you have to like lead in that way as a father, and so that your children can, be ready for the expectations that are going to be placed upon them, as they reach adulthood. So
that kind of sounds like evolution, though, to me. Like the evolution of like growth and,
sure,
in the times, and everything. Yeah. I think we're forever evolving.
Yeah.
Race and human beings. Mm-hmm. I think the same way that we see societal norms or societal pressure being felt now, there was societal norms,
100%,
and it was just felt, in their way,
sure,
differently than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the fact that like social media is so accessible, I think that also makes it very much, easier to have, and I can see why you would say that. Because if it's that easy to have you, it's that easy to affect you,
Yeah.
I see your perspective 100%.
But I also think that it's easier to, though the standard or the requirement has heightened, I think it is easier now to be successful or to win. There's more resources, there's more avenues to make money, to do things, to, so again, like you said, maybe that is just a mutual kind of evolutionary tax.
Yeah.
But I think you can't act as if it's not present, right? I mean, if you're really getting finite, like look at what things, it's the age old thing, but like what did things cost 10 years ago to what things cost today?
Yeah.
And obviously the further back we go, that gap continues to grow and grow and grow, right? And then it's when we forecast forward what we think those numbers will be, it inversely, right, continues to grow. So I think, and like the threshold of skill needed to enter certain workplaces and jobs has grown holistically as well.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like whether that's just evolution or whatever, I definitely think it does make some things a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
so
you can for sure.
What's something you're proud of that nobody sees?
Isn't that why nobody sees it?
Well, yeah, but I'm asking you.
I'm kidding. Something that I'm proud of that nobody sees. I don't know, bro. Tough one, because you know what? I think it's the way that I talk to myself.
Yeah. What does that dialogue look like?
A little crazy.
A little crazy.
And it's a little forgiving sometimes.
Sometimes, okay.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, man, it was definitely self-taught. But man, it has made the world of a difference. Just because, I catch myself doing it when I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
Catch myself doing it when I'm in my room alone or I'm doing laundry or something. Like, I don't know, whatever. But maybe it's because I've become so comfortable in my own like skin, in my own person, like by myself, in my own, solitude, that seeing the difference between when I was younger, how I used to talk to myself like, oh, fucking dumbass, or like whatever, in comparison to now, like I'll do it, I'll say that, but I don't know, it's like different, because I appreciate myself for the growth that I've gone through, for the things that I've been through and overcome, and the person that I've become and created for myself. But if it wasn't for the way I talk to myself, because, dude, like, whether it's somebody calling me names or like somebody telling me that I'm not this, that, whatever, or like, somebody being mean to me, the way that I handle that internally in talking to myself has always allowed me to, move forward or handle the situation, right? And I think that's why I'm so heavy on like knowing yourself and being the best, allowing you to be the best version of yourself and creating that version for you, right? Because you control your reaction to things. And that starts from internally, so.
We talked about in the car that day. I said, you can tell what your relationship to self is when you do something minor. How's that dialogue with yourself?
Exactly. And that's, nobody sees that.
Yeah.
Nobody sees that for each other. Like, I don't see how you talk to yourself. I don't see how anybody talks to themselves, But I see how you overcome obstacles. I see your perseverance or lack thereof. I see your ambition. After one go of something, right? After, starting something new. Why do you think that there's such a negative connotation with this, like, oh, new year, new me thing? Whenever people go into the gym in January and then they're gone by freaking February, March. Maybe it's because the way they talk to themselves. I'll be fine. I'll be here. I could do this instead. Okay. I think it becomes easier whenever you know how to talk to yourself, and learn that skill.
Yeah.
To appreciate yourself and
starting anything is the hardest part of it because it takes more effort to start at the beginning.
The cliff, bro.
I'm saying, but the effort to jump the cliff is way more. Is way more effort than when you're falling. The momentum is just continually building.
Yeah.
Right, and so little on the courage, the whatever. So like, not only is starting hard because like you're giving the most to get nothing back essentially. But then you're bad at a thing because you're just starting and you have no knowledge. You don't know what you're doing. Everything about it is new. So there's literally, you're putting in all this effort to get essentially zero return on your investment.
It's funny you said that. Yeah.
It's like when you first start running, like you don't know what shoes to wear, how to run, what your form is, what your cadence is like, where your heart rate should be. Like you feel like you're dying every 5 steps, like.
Yeah, you're getting shin splints and shit.
Right? Like you're trying your ass off, but you're just getting nothing for it.
Dude, I love that.
Like zero return, right? Like start a business, it's just cost. No money made. No, like there's no guarantee it's gonna even sell shit.
Yeah.
Like when I started this podcast, it's like I'm $30,000 in and I've made 0 pennies.
0. Yeah, that's still wild to me.
But I didn't even know how to edit or what kind of camera, or what kind of light, or what kind of mic, or like it was so. Of course, it's like when I look at something I edited like a year ago versus now, I'm like, oh my God, that was fucking awful. But I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So it is so hard to start for people because it's so intimidating and daunting because by whatever you're going to start, you're probably already good at something.
Yeah.
Right. And so you know what it's like to be good at something, but you also know what it's like to be really ass at something. And no one likes that. No one wants to be ass at something.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to have to accept, I'm willingly going to be shit at this for however long it takes for me to get enough repetitions to start to be not so ass, but I'll still be ass.
Fear, man.
Fear
of failure.
I don't think that's a failure. I think that's just like, no one likes to be bad. I mean, you want to be bad at something?
But in being bad at something, you're failing. Right?
I mean, maybe. I don't think so. I think you're just bad at it because you don't know anything. That's not, to me, there's a difference in failures there.
Right. But there's failures there that allow you to learn, right? Yes. In the being bad at something.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, say you're like you're fucking LeBron James, right? The last thing you want to do is go fucking hit off Billy Wagner, right? Like, what's the incentive there? You're like, no, I'm the fucking GOAT at this thing over here. I'm going to look like a fucking retard trying to hit a ball off a tee blindfolded swinging against this guy. I have no desire to go do that. Not from, I'll know I'm going to be out. I can accept that. I just don't need to look like a fool to do it. Like, I know the outcome. I'm not scared of what I know will happen. I will lose. I will fail.
Yeah.
I just don't need to embarrass myself to do that. I could just lose to lose, right? And I think that's why so many people don't start, is because it's that.
Sure, yeah.
You know? And again, like you have to put, again, there's just no return on it.
There isn't.
You know? Let me tell you, it's really demotivating. It's emotionally a little turbulent to post a podcast and get 0 plays.
Yeah.
Like no one watches it. And then you know what you do? You record another one and you post it again. And that one may get 0 plays. And then you do it again. There's nothing that's super exciting about that. You know? And it is like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Why am I even doing this? What's the point of this? Right? And you know, maybe you get a couple plays the next time, and it's like, okay, great. I mean, that was better than 0, because 0 is really shitty, like none. You know, and I've had that. I faced that already before. You know, and it's like, one, you realize it's not as bad as you think. That's the beautiful part. If you can actually start, which most people can't, when you can start, you realize that the things that you were the most scared of really aren't as bad as you thought. It's like, I got 0 plays, and what? And then what? Okay, well, like I didn't die. I mean, it doesn't feel great, but like that's my fear, right? Like I post it and no one watches. Okay, then what? Fuck, I mean, like, like usually fears asserted to some level of like, you're gonna die, right? And I didn't die. It didn't get any plays, but I mean, sure, my pride feels like shit, but like, I mean, otherwise I'm okay. So like, I guess I could post another one, because like the worst things already happened. No one watched the last one. What are the odds? Go 2 for 2. You know, like, and you kind of like, but you can leverage, with the right perspective, you can leverage that as momentum to go again. Because then your fear has already occurred. Your biggest, like, no one's going to listen. Well, no one listened, and then what? So do it again.
So
and do it better.
So what's kept you just putting them out then?
I'm not getting 0 plays. Okay. Sometimes. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of plays, but I'm not getting 0 anymore. Right. And yeah, man, the ability to, one, I do love it. I love doing it. 2, I've had some people reach out and say some really amazing things to me about how between me and the guests that I've had on here, that it's changed their perspective. It's given them a reason to think differently. That they've found some new level of appreciation or will to keep going, or you know, it's been able to do something for them. You know, and
yeah, that's irreplaceable. You can't put a money value to that for sure, man.
No. So, and I go back to my why. I was like, why did I do this to begin with? And it's the same as I wanted to talk to people I cared about, selfishly only just for me. And for no one else, and if no one listened, it would just be for me. And I was okay with that.
Yeah, we all have something to share, right?
Yeah, I've said that always. Everyone has a story. Got to be willing to have someone help tell it.
It's true.
So I do this because whether it becomes a top trending podcast or it's just this cool thing I have to look back on with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that kind of like made me think about, you know, when people do things for the wrong reasons, that's when they face those feelings. I think the worst, because
but see, I disagree with that. I think, you know, maybe you started YouTube because you see a lot of people are making money on YouTube, and you come from a financially disadvantaged family, and you see that as an easy avenue. Right? Now, what you miscalculate is the amount of time and effort it will take you to be good.
Yes.
But maybe they aren't pursuing that for the wrong reason. Maybe they're seeing it as an opportunity to try and do better for their family.
Right.
That's not a wrong reason. When you post that video and you get 0 plays, it feels like shit, regardless of the reason.
Right.
Whether you like, I want to be a YouTuber, or I just do this because I'm casually doing it. Nothing about, you know, negative feedback or no feedback feels great. There is some level of like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Regardless of the reason you did it. So I don't think that doing something for the wrong reasons, yes, you'll probably burn out on doing it. But also, even if you're doing it for the right reasons, it's going to take you so much more work than you can possibly imagine. That's why I say things are often simultaneously easier than you think while being harder than you can imagine. For context, all you have to do is 21 episodes to be in the top 1% of podcasts ever made. 99% of podcasts don't make it 21 episodes. 90% of podcasts don't make it past 3.
Where are you at?
32.
Hell yeah.
You know? But that's just to get into the top 1% is breaking 21. That doesn't mean you have an audience. That doesn't mean you have but just to be better than 99% of people, it just means 21 repetitions of a thing. In that time, I've also posted I think I posted about 250 clips in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got a viral clip yet. I'm 0 for 250. Oh, well. So that's the where it's easier than you think to be better than everyone else, but it's also so much harder than you think to be good, to get into that level where it's like everybody sees your shit.
Yeah.
It's easier to outrun most people. It's so hard to become in the elite running group. It's easy to make more money than most people. It's so hard to get into that top 1%. So it's easier than you think, but also harder than you can imagine because at the beginning you don't know anything. Like how many times a day do some people post 7 to 10 times a day? Like huge content creators, 7 to 10 posts a day. I'm happy to post fucking daily and feel good about myself. And that's still more than 99% of people who post. Most people don't even post every day.
Right.
So by posting daily, you're ahead of 99% of people.
Yeah.
But then the people who are the best, who you see their shit everywhere and they're trending, they're posting 7 to 10 times more than you are. So in a week, you do 5 posts, they did 70. You do 7, they did 70. Yeah. You know, it's like, are you bad is marketing bad? Or did you only put out 50 flyers? Well, they put out 50,000 flyers. So yes, they got the business and you didn't. You're like, marketing's just not really a thing. It's like, no. You just didn't do enough fucking work yet because you don't know. Because you don't get it. Because you're still new to the thing. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. But don't say that something doesn't work or that it's bad or that there's no room for this, for you to grow or get better at this thing. If you haven't done so much fucking work, that there's a possibility, there's no doubt that it could be the thing. Mm-hmm. You know? Like when I thought, oh man, like I ran 26, 30 miles a week, I'll have a good marathon. And then I talked to like an elite marathon coach and he's like, I got people running 60 miles a week to compete at the fucking like 1600. I got like elite college athletes that run 60 miles a week to run 1 mile really well. And I was like, what? It didn't take away from how hard I was working. But again, it gave me a perception that that's how much harder people who do this one thing are working. You know, you look at any like pro runner, I mean, they're running 100+ mile weeks every week.
Yeah.
So it's that there is a timing and an understanding of you don't even know what hard is in a thing to start it, to go, I've done enough work to where I should be good at something. Mr. Beast gets like 1 billion plays a video. It's like, yeah. But how many hundreds of videos did he post before he ever got good views? So it's like whatever perception you have to how much work you think it's going to take, just 10x it. Just 10x it, right? You think you're going to have to run a couple hundred miles, run a couple thousand. You think you're going to have to put out 1,000 flyers, just go with 10.
Just do the damn thing, bro.
Yeah. But do it to a level that it feels like no way. There's no way it could take that much. And that's probably just barely the threshold to get you in.
Yeah.
And that's scary. That's intimidating because it's already hard enough to do it anyway with nothing.
Yeah.
But then let alone you have to do it to a level that you're like, I don't even know if I can do that.
Right.
Like doing it was already intimidating and scary enough. Fuck, we jumped on that. Right. But now you're telling me I'm barely running, 20, 30 miles a week. It was like for me to look at, I need to double or triple that to really get like good at this thing. And I have, and it's taken time though. Right. It's like when we were at the run club the other day, and the dude was like, man, like, I just want to get like you. I've been running for 4 months. I'm like, well, hey man, like I'm proud of you. That's great. Like how often do you run? Whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, like, I mean, I run 40 to 60 miles a week, like weekly right now, and I've ran over 5,000 miles in the last 3.5 years. Like you can get there, but it's going to take you some time and it's going to take you way more work than you think. And there's a lot of growth that can happen when you start. You went from I didn't run at all to now you're running 10, 15 miles a week. You can become a way better runner just on that. Like I'm talking infinitely better. Because you started from 0. So you've got the whole exponential growth curve going in your favor. Mm-hmm. You started. But then to compete and jump up against people who've been doing this shit, 10x your effort.
And you factor in like comparison, you factor in fatigue, you factor in all this other stuff, like
So starting is hard, but it's easier. And I agree with you, but it's easier to keep going, but it's also then the threshold needed to really be good at something is so much higher than you can imagine.
So what do you think about, like, yes, you're the threshold, right? But would you say that momentum gets you there from the starting point, right? Because sometimes you start something and you're like, all right, this sucks.
Mhm.
But then after that suck, there's some good.
Yeah, no, there is.
There's some adapting. There's some overcoming. There's some, you know,
I think you just have to set,
ability, right?
it's just wrapped up in realistic expectations.
Right.
You
And
know?
not thinking about your instant gratification, not thinking about
Yeah, but
other things like that.
I think it's just poor mapped expectations ruin a lot of things.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Whenever I started running again, like to the level at which we run, and I wouldn't even put myself necessarily at your level yet because you were doing ultra stuff. But I've done 100-mile week or 100-mile months. Like
Yeah.
some crazy mileage, right? But when I first started, like I had no expectation,
Sure.
right? I literally just wanted to do something consistent.
Same.
Right. And that was wake up, go on a run. Even in the evening after work, go on a run.
Mm.
And I did that. I did that so well, right, that it just developed into what it is now.
I mean, I started running to try and lose weight, to help me lose weight when I was a fucking chubby dude.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
This will help me lose weight.
I started running again because I came from being a drone instructor, and I was so used to just being on my feet all day, every day, that
Aren't you? I mean, y'all doing some level of PT with the trainees too, right? So you're kind of in a little bit.
Well, I mean,
I know our drill instructors did with us.
So I mean, that was the drill field, yeah. But coming back into the fleet,
people don't PT like that.
It's not like that, bro.
Yeah. No, I got you.
So I put that on myself, and then
Sure.
I'm looking at my peers, and I'm like,
there's the definition of what I said. It's easier than you think. So it's so much easier to be better than everybody else, right? Because most people aren't doing shit. But then to get to the next level, so much harder than you can imagine because the perception at the beginning is so skewed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm learning
Yeah.
what you're telling me, honestly, because I don't really think of others in doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't consider them, right? And when I started to do so in running is when I quickly was like, back up, and I checked myself.
Yeah.
Right. Because dude, I remember when you hit me up, and I was just like, damn, bro, like, how am I going to keep my heart rate down? Like, I didn't even know about that trash. Like, And then I would see your runs, and then I would start following, like the Nick Bears or like, Joey Muchos and them. And I'm just like, God damn, these dudes are chilling at 750, 730 at 130, beats per minute for the heart rate. I'm just like, but then I was like, hold up, like, what is Joseph doing?
Yeah. I mean,
and then
again, I always
how can I do this to the best of my ability,
Yeah, I like to use comparison. I had a guest on yesterday, and her and I had talked about this. And I said, I like to use comparison as a tool to see what's possible, not to take away from me, right? So it's like when I was running, and I was like, 20, 30 miles a week, cool. Like, but it was when I was finding like, well, why am I not where I want to be? Like, I feel like I'm doing work. I was doing work, but it was like, then to talk with that coach, and he go, no, like people who are competing in a 2 mile are running 50 to 60 miles a week. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, okay, like, I mean, I'm doing work, but like, okay, there's a whole new threshold to this shit.
Yeah.
And just as much as like when I started learning about heart rate training, I was like, whoa, like, you
It's
tell me
different.
motherfuckers are running at
It's different.
5:30, 6-minute miles with 130 heart rates. Let me back my fucking ass up. Hold on, I think I'm somebody out here. I've done better. I'm getting better, sure, but like there is a different level to this shit. And so it's like you said. I mean, I didn't initially start out running And still, I wouldn't say I'm pursuing being a pro runner by any stretch, but like, I want to continue to see how good I can get for me. And so I use those people as a reference point to like, no, that's attainable. I've seen it. I just have to do the work for me to get there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not to like take away from me or minimize my work. It's just like, no. I know that those motherfuckers capable of that. And they ain't no better than me, so I could do it too. What's the path to get there?
It's good, man. Because not a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, I don't need to be bitter or have animosity about it. I just use that as like, that's the guide. They've walked it. They've shown. Yeah. I'm looking at them way over there. I know you can get there because they're there.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for me to get there? You know, I don't need to use it as a tool to be upset or angry or competitive with them. I'm like, no, that's you. You've been. I don't know what you're doing. I see the results of what you're doing, and I would like to do that. And you're showing me that it's possible. Now I got to formulate that to me and see how I can make it happen.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a good perspective, man, because I've always seen it as just like, damn, they're putting in the work.
But I can admire that. I don't need to be mad about it.
Yeah, that's what I've admired, you know, like, like, damn, these dudes just do it.
Yeah.
It's that easy to them. And that's why I was just like, let me just be disciplined. Let me create discipline for myself.
Yeah, like
through my consistency.
I see Steve knock out 100 million. I'm like, damn, that's fucking dope. I'm not trying to compete with him.
Steve's a menace, bro.
Yeah, you know. Shout out Steve, but
shout out.
You know, like it's no way in any envy. I'm so willing to clap, cheer, and love and hug anyone who's ahead of me or whatever, because I know that I'm going that way too. They're just a little ahead of me.
Man, I don't even care if I get to that. Honestly, I'm just like, dude, do your thing, man. Like, that's awesome. Like, I love to see those around me and the ones that I love succeed. Like, I will be your biggest fan, you know, and I love that for you.
It's kind of like what you said about leadership earlier. It's like, to be a great leader, you have to be able to follow, and to ever be clapped for, you have to be willing to clap for others.
Yeah.
You know, because when it's your time will come. People will clap for you. But if you're too bitter, too selfish, too prideful to cheer for anyone else along the way, no one will ever cheer for you.
I mean, to even have that as a reason to cheer for somebody, I think it's just insane. Just because,
I mean, but I think
that's crazy to people. For me to understand that people would do that,
I guess. But I'm saying is, I don't believe in there's a right or wrong reason to do something. I really don't believe that.
Okay.
Like, I don't, you know, like, if you just told the truth because you're like, damn, I'm tired of my lies fucking up my life. You told the truth. Okay. And that's all that matters. Your why, less relevant. But did you do the thing?
What about intentions? Because then intentions.
I mean, in theory, but I think like it'll come out. I can't worry about your intention.
I mean, the truth always reveals itself, right?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, if you lost 100 pounds because the doctor told you were going to die if you keep eating like a fat piece of shit, or you were just super disciplined, motivated, around the right circle, and you've been fit your whole life, who's the better person?
They both are.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? Because what made you do the thing that's not where I'm going to base my, right? If you're honest equals honest. Why you chose to be honest is irrelevant to me.
But in clapping for others, right? In clapping for others, there's intentions behind why you're clapping for others. And you're, you know, supporting others.
Again, but that's...
Like with Stefan, right?
But I view it, okay, maybe the better way to explain the difference to me is, if to start to be appreciative of others, you have to do it for whatever. You're a selfish, naive prick. You can't clap for others. And you realize, I should do this for whatever reason.
Sure.
Whatever makes you start doesn't matter. Because once you commit to something, I think it changes. It evolves. Just as much as my want for success initially was rooted in money. I wanted money. I just wanted to be more successful. I wanted to have more resources. That's what made me start to work my ass off.
Yeah.
Now that's evolved. That's shifted. Yeah, I'm okay with, I still want some more money. I want more wealth, more success. I'm willing to do an insane amount of work for it. But that's no longer my main driver anymore. I'd be like, well, that's pretty money hungry of you. I guess, maybe. I just come from not having shit. So yeah, money was seen as a variable to change that. But once I started getting into that space, I realized, oh my gosh, like really it's about how much money could I make me? And now it's shifted to like, I know that if I can really do it for other people, things will come for me. I don't need to worry about me as much. If I worry about giving it back to others and making them more opportunities, giving them more options, that I will do more.
So your intentions kind of changed?
Yeah, it has shifted. Yeah. So I think what makes you start doing something initially, so if you're just like, one day I want people to clap for me, so I should clap for them. If that's what makes you start clapping for others, it doesn't matter, because once you actually start clapping for others, you won't be able to continue to do it with that. You will have to change. You will have to evolve. Your reason, the why, will evolve, or it won't stay. It'll go away and you will revert back. So if you start just telling the truth because you're like, damn, lies are biting me in the ass, I should be honest, that won't make you stay that way. You will have to evolve more into like, just telling the truth is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But what to flip you from, I don't have that ability, I'm not trying to do that at all, to make you start doing it, whatever that switch is, whatever life thing or whatever your why, is irrelevant, because it won't be able to stay unless it evolves anyway. Doctor says you're going to die. That's not going to keep you when you've lost 40 pounds in. To lose that other 60, something's going to have to change for you to keep going. Mm-hmm. Or otherwise you'll just gain the weight back. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying is, what triggers you to start is you're like, but that's selfish. Like they even think that they would do it for that. But who are we to judge that? They won't be able to continue it unless they change. And I can know I need to change. When I was doing drugs, I knew I needed to stop. When I wanted to kill myself every day, I knew that needed to go away, but I didn't know how I could make that happen.
Yeah.
And so initially I had to kind of lie to myself or tell myself a different story. Maybe that wasn't rooted in the best quality or the best attributes. But it was just to like get me to start doing the thing, because starting was the hardest part. But I knew if I didn't start, I couldn't continue. So you have to start to be able to continue. And it's like, I'll figure this shit out later. But if I can't even get this fucker rolling, it don't matter. So whatever I could use to get to start was enough to light the match. I could figure out how to keep this motherfucker burning as I go. And that's kind of how I view it. Is I know I've done some things in the past that weren't rooted, I guess, in let's say the best intention.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to keep them around because that intention stayed. It's changed. It's evolved. It is more in a what's best for others. It's no longer just about me. It was about me for a long time, but it's not anymore. Mm-hmm. But that was just so I could start.
Makes sense.
So I'm not here to judge anybody for what their reason to start is, because I know if they can't change, they won't stick around.
I mean, I don't think anybody ever judges the reason to start something. I think, to be honest with you, nobody cares how you start.
Exactly.
And nobody cares how you get there.
Everybody wants what you have. They don't care how you got it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They only praise you at the end, bro. They're only like, oh shit, you lost 60 pounds. Great job.
Mm-hmm. That's why it can't be for them. And you would have never made it all the way to the 60 if you were pursuing that.
That's why I'm saying that.
But if that's what you needed to start, people will hype me up. I think, hey, whatever makes you make a shift.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe you got off drugs because you were like, damn, like I'm started being in jail. But it had nothing to do with a better life.
And you allowing yourself to tell yourself something, right, differently than what you had been telling yourself. And that, you had to basically lie to yourself, right? And you had to know something, learn something about yourself. And then you kept learning about yourself in that whole process.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, internally, bro, like, it was your development that kept you going.
Sure.
Right?
But that's what will keep anyone going.
For sure.
It's that they do develop, they do grow.
Because there's a sense of like, oh, okay, I've reached it this far. I've been able to do this. Okay, what else can I do?
Yeah.
That curiosity, right, kicks in, and then that curiosity with the feeling of success and the seeing of, you be successful at something or like just accomplish something, that keeps you moving, so.
I got one more question for you, bro, and then we'll wrap it up, because you got me tangenting. So
hey, that was a good tangent. I was like, let me learn, let me listen, let me let Austin talk, because you have great perceptions, man. And I like to especially listen to my friends talk, man.
Yeah.
Like just as much as I can talk to,
Yeah.
When I'm comfortable with someone. And trust me, I think we both have a lot if not plenty of things to talk about, just because, I mean, me going on 12 years, you did 5 years, you know, in the Army, and just life in general too. Like, there's so much to talk about and to shove into a 1 hour and a half, whatever.
2 hours.
2 hours, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that. You know, so go ahead.
If what's the best piece of advice or quote you've ever heard? Something you would want to share back with other people.
Best piece of advice or quote. Can I use my phone real quick?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead.
Because like I'm like not that great at memorizing stuff, but I know I do keep things, you know, near and dear to the heart for sure.
Bro.
I think as of recently, there's a Japanese concept.
Okay, let me hear it.
It's the Japanese concept of gaman.
I have not heard this one. I know a couple other ones, but I haven't heard this one.
Spelled out GAMAN.
Okay.
It embodies the idea of enduring the seemingly unbearable with patience and dignity. Gaman is more than the mere perseverance or resilience. It is about maintaining composure and not complaining during tough times. Right? And it almost sounds stoic, right? But
it's very stoic.
At the same time, I had to read that a couple of times when I saw it. And the more I read it, the more I understood the reality behind it's not always about how someone reacts or acts towards you, right? It's about how you react towards anything and everyone, right?
Majority of your life will be a response.
And in knowing yourself enough, right, and well enough to control that, I feel as if that's what makes the difference in the simplicity of life. Because life is not simple, but it's about knowing how to allow yourself to react to things that allows you, in turn, to feel as if life is a little bit more simple than that of what it is. Because obstacles, random flat tire, random bullshit always comes up.
Yeah.
But if you're able to sit there and just, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, and handle it in comparison to, oh my gosh, I just got a flat, this and that. I have to call my AAA, and it just derails the rest of your day. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
Makes a complete difference. So I think that's something that I would definitely would love for everyone to know and, you know, to maybe look into a little bit more.
I mean, I think with that, I like that a lot because it's saying you're going to have to bear the hardships of life like nobly, and you don't get to whine or complain about it. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah,
I like that. I like a lot of Japanese things. Since you brought that one up, I'll use the
Ikigai.
Yeah, I love that one.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't even remember how to say it, so I pulled it up trying to remember with the pronunciation. I still fucked it up, but
Ikigai.
Yeah, it's like your reason, like your why. What's your reason for getting out of bed? Yeah, and discovering what truly matters to you, aligning your actions with those values, and
yeah, man. There's a lot of Japanese proverbs or whatever they're called, but like, I mean, having lived there for so long now, it's insane the things you pick up, you know. But it's definitely allowed me to, you know, reflect and, you know, allow myself to become the best version of myself through that, because there's so much to learn outside of Houston, Texas, and there's so much to learn outside of the United States as well.
There's 7 billion other people doing this thing called life currently.
Yeah.
Let alone how many people historically have done this thing called life. Like you, as much as you may feel alone or lost or that no one's ever felt the way you felt, like in this history of the world, someone's felt how you felt. And the odds that they've probably written something about it, also very high.
Oh, can I share one more?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. There's this, we all know Anthony Bourdain, right? Like the legend himself. A Others may have opinions about him. I don't really care. He has this quote. Where's it at?
I have a long cut here.
I know, I'm sorry.
Joseph scrolling.
There we go. I found it. It says, travel is not reward for working, it's education for living. And if it's anything that I would really want to leave people, is like, just travel, man. Like,
yeah.
Like,
find out who you are.
Buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Buy the flight.
Jet2 holiday.
Dude, do it.
No, but you I
do
mean, you
it, man.
do.
Go on a cruise. Go do something, bro.
You find out who you are when you travel. You're away from your systems, away from your people, away from whatever.
Yeah,
like, just if you travel alone, like you find out who you are.
That's different.
Travel alone, you find out who you are.
I love that.
Like, how do you show up? Where do you go? How do you navigate a new environment?
What do you do every day?
Yeah, that's who you find out who the fuck you are.
That's funny because in 21, I did a trip to New York by myself.
Yeah,
and every morning I was running at Central Park, and I was listening to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
That's a good book.
And my gosh, man, the trip itself was just so fucking therapeutic and relaxing, you know, and not because of the book necessarily, great book, right? But it was more so of the fact that I was just coming to realization of like, well, I knew this, but how can I perfect it? How can I make it better? And how can I implement this in my life to be better at doing what he's saying and he talks about?
Yeah.
Right? That and the 4 Agreements. You got to read it if you haven't read it. But I think we've talked about that already, man. Those books, life-changing. But yeah, fucking travel. Buy the ticket. Go on your Jet2 holiday, whatever fuck.
The quote I'll leave with because it fits that is, it's by Alex Hormozy. And he says that we often need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So you just said there, it's like, I already knew these things. Like, yeah, because you just need to be reminded. Very few times do we need to be taught in life. And I think that's why that's how I try to show up as a good friend, is I just try to remind people of the things they already know. You know the answer to this.
That's why we love music, bro.
Yeah, you just need to be reminded.
That's why we love music, because I'm a boss ass bitch, whatever, you know, Cardi B, whatever say. Like, bro, they just remind us in the moment.
Wild.
You know? No, I'm playing. But, you know, you have fun with it. And you do have to remind yourself sometimes. I love that.
Sweet. Well,
appreciate you inviting me.
Thanks for doing it. And thank you, everyone. If you're watching, I hope you enjoyed it.